You're listening to The John and Heidi Show. Now, featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Ferris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Ferris. Good Monday to you, sir.
Hey, right back in your little small face there, John. How you doing, buddy?
Fabulous.
Heidi?
Tired. I'm sore.
I'm tired. I'm sore.
Heidi's been working me way too hard.
I'm so sore.
You know, she's been working me so hard, I had a hernia, Dan. Did you know
Oh,
that?
my gosh.
That's right. You went in. Okay, you had that check. I think you had a doctor's appointment last
week, yeah. And
weekend.
they said, you do indeed have a hernia.
It
Your
is a
wife
hernia.
should really make you work a lot less than she
I've
has.
never had a hernia. I'm not exactly sure what that even means. So you ruptured something or
Yeah,
what?
It's probably more from the fact that I'm fat than the fact that I'm working too hard. It's a hiatal hernia, I think is what it's called.
Hiatal.
It's like my belly button is bulging out.
Ew.
It's not good. I could.
So that's the deal where they actually have to cut you and stuff?
Yeah,
they
they're
gotta
going to cut me open.
Yeah.
They're going to give me a surgery and all that stuff.
That's something we can do like in the garage?
I think so. I got some new DeWalt tools. We could try it.
Just boil some water, tear some sheets. Get it done.
I'll bite on a bullet. It'll be good.
Huh. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that, man.
I'll leave it to the pros. I'll let them do their thing.
Well, this has nothing to do with that, but it is National Kangaroo Day.
Oh, hey. It's like it got a pouch.
I like kangaroos.
Maybe when they do the surgery, I'll ask if they could install a pouch.
It's a little place to keep some things.
Place to put my cell phone.
Wow.
Can I get a marsupial pouch right here?
You should at least ask.
I'm going to ask now. I hadn't thought to ask before, but thank you, Dan.
Holy cow, I hope that works out for you, man.
I kind of want one.
Celebrating some birthday stuff today. I always like this actor, Kevin Kline. Believe it or not, is 75
he is my
today.
favorite,
He is.
75?
actor.
Is that even possible?
It is.
He looks amazing for 75.
Well, we haven't seen him in anything in a couple years either.
He's in a new film with a new show with Sigourney Weaver. Actually,
Really?
I've been watching the
Heidi
trailers.
is a big fan. So she would know.
Holy cow.
He's my favorite actor.
She's a little stalker.
You know, I first saw him, and it was like an ensemble piece, The Big Chill.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He was in with Kevin Costner. Very few people know Kevin Costner.
The dead guy.
He was the corpse in the beginning of he was the dead guy. Yeah, you never saw his face.
Yeah.
My favorite character of his is A Fish Called Wanda.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely love that film.
And he did such a great job.
Scott and I loved him in Silverado, which was a Western, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Otto.
Great actor,
And
man.
been married to a Phoebe Cates
And she's my
for
favorite
decades.
actress.
She's
I
adorable.
love
We
her.
should see if they want to get together for dinner sometime.
Wow,
They
why
don't
not?
know us or anything, but
And holy cow, I haven't heard this name in a long time. Tila Tequila.
who? No, what? No.
Remember Tila Tequila?
No.
You don't?
Who? The what? Where? What?
Oh, she was huge. She had her own little series on MTV. Former Playboy model.
I don't know.
No clue.
Seriously.
I've never heard of her.
Okay, well,
I would Google her, but now I'm afraid of what's going to come up now that you say all these
glad I included this.
Tila Tequila.
Yeah, she played a Hooters girl, and I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
I'm definitely not going to Google this now.
You've seen that movie.
I have, so I've seen her, I'm sure. But
Okay, she's 41, and I
Well,
guess
happy birthday.
I'm going to put that in the column of no one cares.
I wouldn't say no one. I mean, just here. That's all.
Okay.
Just no one in this studio.
Aubrey Drake Graham is 36 today, which
Who's
is
that?
nice. We know him, one of the biggest rappers like in the world, Drake.
Oh.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Drake is
I've heard of him.
36. Are you kidding me? My goodness gracious. He's released 6 albums, 140 singles. He's done over 85 videos. He has sold 170 million records.
He's done pretty good for himself. Yeah.
I mean, the guy is like massive. Hits like Passion Fruit,
Oh, is there a dramatic reading coming?
Way Too Sexy with Young Thug duet, which is very nice. And is a number one, probably runaway biggest hit, a little thing called Knife Talk.
Oh, here we go.
Yes, I do have an excerpt from that.
Dramatic reading time.
With some explanations at the end.
Oh, that's good.
Here we go. Ready? Knife Talk by Drake. Keep blickies, and you know the weed sticky. My finger itchy, the Glock like to leave hickeys. Your shooter's iffy, a street punk could never diss me. I come straight up out the 6, and we don't share 60s.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Now, the term
Move over Shakespeare.
the term blickies, that actually primarily used by New York City street gangs, means illegal firearms.
Okay.
All right, you with me so far?
Yeah.
So far.
You know what we forgot to do when he was done saying that?
We'll be okay, John. We'll be all right.
I feel really bad that we didn't clap for it.
Talking about straight up out the six. Out the six means out of control, wild, very intense.
Okay.
And don't share 60s. 60s, street term for cigarettes.
Oh.
So the song makes perfect sense.
I don't know.
Happy birthday to Drake.
You know, the other day you did a crime
36.
breakdown on state by state. I'd like to know the crime breakdown on Drake fans.
Yeah.
Where do they land?
He's a good guy.
Say in relation to, I don't know, Peter Cetera fans. Let's just do it.
He's basically harmless. He's from Canada.
So that just means when he stabs you, he apologizes.
So basically, no, he's just
Polite.
he's just a poser
Polite thug.
making bank.
No.
That's all. That's all. He'll be
He's
all right.
probably not a bad guy.
No, I like
he
him a
seems
lot.
to be pretty doggone smart.
I love how John he comes to.
I know.
It's like,
No, I'm saying he seems to be a pretty smart dude.
you've never even heard of the guy.
I have too. Drake.
Wow, John.
I know him by first name.
Wow.
We're on a one-name basis, man.
Until 3 minutes ago, yeah, Drake was a duck.
Well, that too. Drake the duck.
Historically
He's a
speaking,
type of duck.
was 1940. Boy, this just ruined it for everybody. This day, 1940, the U.S. Fair Labor Standards, which was written up in actually 1938, goes into effect, becomes law. Includes no child labor in factories. Sets a minimum wage and a 44-hour work week.
I bet they're wishing they hadn't set that child labor limit now that we can't ever find
It's
any
ruined it
help.
for everybody,
I know.
basically. That's all there is to it. Minimum wage, by the way, set in 1940 was 30 cents per hour,
Oh, wow.
which is nice. That'd
It's
boil
gone
down
up
to
a little bit.
It'd be about 30 cents. Today's down to about $5.65 an hour today.
Oh, wow.
So, not a ton of do-re-mi, but hey, what are you going to do?
It's a minimum. That's not the maximum.
Exactly. 1989, this was hilarious and really kind of pathetic. This day in 89, TV evangelist Jim Baker, Tammy Faye's man,
Yeah.
sentenced by a judge in Charlotte, North Carolina to 45 years in the slam for fraud and conspiracy. Sentence later reduced on appeal to just 8 years, but then cut loose in under 4 years for good behavior.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, he's a Christian.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that he was behaving. That's good.
Wow. They had mansions for their dogs.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a movie. I just watched that.
That's fantastic. You know, Tammy Faye, she's from International Falls, Minnesota,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did know that.
which is nice. So, yeah, she and I were kind of homies. The world of sports, because, John, I know you're a big... Hey, go sports.
Go. Yeah, my favorite sports team. Go.
2021, because some people just have too darn much money. This day, 2021, a pair of Michael Jordan's Nike Airs go up for bid at Sotheby's. Mm-hmm. Now, keep in mind, their 1984 pair, his rookie season with the Bulls, sell for a record $1.472 million.
Can you
For a
imagine
used pair of
being able to
shoes.
just say, I know these shoes, I think I'll sell them, and you rake in that kind of cash?
$1.472 million.
Awesome.
Should we sell an old pair of my shoes?
Who knows?
Nobody wants your Crocs.
Nobody
honey.
wants your Crocs, John.
I have a pretty decent
Number
used...
one, they're full of holes.
They come that way. I got a pretty decent pair of used Vans. You can sell those babies.
Who knows?
You get,
Apparently
what,
people
$1,
buy anything, man.
$2?
I don't know. Somebody will make you an offer.
Yeah, probably not.
All there is to it. So here's the thing. I know, and now you know, and John's a big Drake fan, which is nice.
We all
and
know.
we can just bounce ahead.
Gonna do that. It is the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Ferris.
In good times and not so good times, it's a good idea to be responsible when it comes to spending. At bettercreditcards.com, we're excited to see our friends like you get a better credit card to fit your needs. Some people like cards with the lowest possible interest rate. Others like cards with no annual fee. And some people like cards with points and perks to take advantage of all the extras available. Whatever you're looking for, we hope you find it at bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. Bettercreditcards.com.
Thank you for listening to Sunny 93.3. Super excited to have Mr. Brent Baker joining us right now. Brent is a realtor with Clients First Group at Keller Williams Realty in Sioux Falls. Brent, how are you, sir?
I'm fabulous today.
I'm struggling to speak for some reason over here, but it's a Monday, and we're excited to chat. So next week is Halloween already. Can you believe that?
Oh, don't rush the
so
year.
we're gonna be talking about some spooky stuff next week, but we're gonna make it pretty easy today. We're gonna talk about something that was really positive for a lot of people. Anybody that was selling a home, this housing boom was really good. So, are there lasting benefits to having a housing boom like the one that we just experienced in Sioux Falls?
There definitely are. The housing boom has passed us, but that doesn't mean it's dead.
Yeah.
But what a housing boom does is it invigorates a lot of other activities. And some of those are simply that the city is growing, therefore they have to improve infrastructure. They have to improve, and infrastructure is a broad term, but it's the utilities, like your gas lines, your electrical, your fiber needs, as well as your city streets and sewers and water lines.
Yeah.
So those things get updated and expanded. So we all benefit from improved streets, street lights, a lot of these things that may be getting neglected, and we all know of little towns that are struggling. And,
absolutely.
Everybody enjoys a town that's updated. Roads get repaved, a lot of things, and people start investing in their homes. As the market rises, they're incentivized to make improvements to their home, even if they're not trading up or intend to.
Well, and that's one of the things that I've noticed. You'll see a home that gets sold in a neighborhood. This last year, there'd be a home that would get sold, and then the next thing you know, you'd see a couple other homes in that neighborhood that would get sold, and it was because this other home sold, and it sold for a lot more, maybe, than the people who own these other homes thought it would. And that's part of what happened with us. We weren't planning on selling a home, but we had a neighbor that sold a home, and then we had people calling, and I said, if I'm going to list my home, I'm listing it with Brent Baker. That's who I'm going to list it with. So Brent came over and told us what he would list our home at, and the next thing you know, we were selling a home and buying a home, and we weren't planning on any of that. But I'm really glad that we did, and you made it really easy on both sides. You made it really easy for us to get our home sold, and you also made it really easy when we were looking to buy a home. So it's an experience that, like I said, we're going to talk next week about spooky stuff, but it wasn't scary at all. So if there's anybody listening that's going, it just seems daunting to try to sell my home and to go and look to buy a home, it's not as daunting as they might think.
It really is not. And a lot of that is I have good people that I work with. And that makes my job a lot easier because they're strong where I'm not and I am where they're not.
Yeah.
And
teamwork makes the dream work.
Oh, boy, it really does. Are there a lot of moving pieces? There are an incredible amount of moving pieces. However, that's where people with their specific skills come into play.
Yeah.
And I don't have the stats with me about for sale by owner things, and I'm not here to knock that. There are people who have the ability and the time because you have to accommodate buyer schedules and so forth and follow the deadlines. You can't miss deadlines. However, that's not for everybody, and especially if you have a busy job, a busy life, shuttling kids or other extracurricular activities in your own life. You don't want to necessarily give those up.
Yeah, and sometimes it's hard to separate things that are personal to you when you've got somebody coming in and that's your home and you did this, maybe you picked some weird colors or whatever, and they're telling you how ugly that is. That could be really difficult too. So you want to, that's kind of nice to have where it's a realtor where they're not going to take, you're not going to take it personally if somebody comes in and goes, I wouldn't have chosen this carpet or I wouldn't have chosen the, and the good news is you don't have to. You can change all of that stuff.
You're correct. In fact, I was just visiting with a friend of my mother's this morning, and we talked about those very things. And she's done a lot to bring her house a little bit up to speed.
Yeah.
She's been there a very long time. And, realtors will ask for feedback from other realtors.
Yeah.
Some will give it. Some absolutely aren't going to take the time to give feedback. But we appreciate those realtors who cooperate and give us feedback, because sometimes we have said something or maybe didn't see something.
Yeah.
Where if we get that feedback that consistently says this, now we're identifying something that might be preventing offers or not getting what we anticipate for offers. So feedback is a really important thing, and some homeowners do take it personal.
Yeah.
But the reality is, if you want it to be somebody else's house, you have to be open
Absolutely.
to what the market. It's not my opinion. My opinion is going to be based off of what the market is telling me. And that's the important factor. Don't get mad at me.
Yeah.
I'm the messenger.
Yeah.
If you shoot me, well, now you got to go find somebody else.
An attorney is what you're going to have to find. Well, Brent, thanks for coming in. If somebody would like to reach out and talk to you about listing a home, or maybe they're looking to buy a home, they'd like help with that, how do they get a hold of you?
I can be reached at 605-310-0297.
If you have any trouble finding him, reach out to me and I'll get you in touch as well. You can also find him online at clientsfirstgroup.com.
How much do you pay for your wireless phone? Some people spend hundreds of dollars every month for their family. That's crazy! Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. Not 50, 15, 1-5. Yeah, $15 a month for premium wireless. It's time for a Mintervention from Mint Mobile. You can keep your same phone number. You may even be able to keep your same phone. Find out now at Mintervention.com. Learn more and sign up today at Mintervention.com. Premium wireless for just $15 a month at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
And now stuff Dan finds interesting. Yeah.
It is time for Stuff Dan Finds Interesting. Dan, what do you find interesting on this Monday?
You know, we were just talking about that 1984 pair of
the Nike
Michael Jordan's shoes sold a year ago at Sotheby's for $1.47 million, whatever the case may be. But people who make money for literally doing nothing.
Right.
You know, it's like, here comes this money. And you think about it, you know, if you're jumping up and down the dial, whatever, here's a rerun, shows that are being rerun.
Were they getting just royalties?
Yeah, and I came across kind of an interesting article, some actors who I'm sure we're all familiar with. What are they dragging in these days for doing nothing because their shows ended years ago?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Good series. We've got that at the bottom end of kind of the low end of it. Alan Alda does Hawkeye and MASH.
Oh, yeah.
But that was in the 70s. So
Yeah.
that was quite a while ago. He still does $1 million a year for MASH reruns.
That's awesome.
$1 million.
That you could live on that.
Yeah, it just shows
I mean,
up
I
in
sure
the
could.
mailbox or his account or whatever, and it's kind of all over the map here, depending on the situation. Remember the series Cheers?
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yes.
Okay, Ted Danson
Yeah.
was the star. He still does $5 million a year from Cheers.
Holy cow!
I know.
I
and
need
it
to get
gets
in
better.
an '80s sitcom.
And speaking of Cheers, how about Cheers, where we met Fraser, Kelsey Grammer, for the first time. Then he went on with his own series, Fraser, which is now being rebooted.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kelsey Grammer from Cheers and Fraser, he does $13 million a year on
That's
residuals.
amazing.
That's really good.
13 mil. Oh, it gets better.
I hope he's investing some of that.
From The Big Bang Theory, which on a number
yeah.
of seasons. Sheldon, Jim Parsons, he does
Yeah.
10 million. That was his deal when
Yeah.
the series has ended, but he just, sits there. Ray Romano, everybody loves Raymond.
Yeah.
18 million a year.
Really?
That's awesome, though. Mm-hmm. That's a popular show in syndication.
This is kind of my favorite, David Hasselhoff. Do not hassle the Hoff.
No, I don't.
Do not.
I've talked to two of his daughters.
Of course you have.
Yeah,
Could
really.
have just asked, hey, is your dad sober? Put him on.
It'd be even more fun if he wasn't.
But from Baywatch,
Yeah. Baywatch. Yeah.
the Hoff does $4 million a year
No kidding. Wow.
from Baywatch.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, now this is kind of fascinating. Remember the series Friends?
Yeah.
Okay, an ensemble crew, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Matthew Perry does $10 million a year,
Okay.
but Courtney Cox does $20 million.
She had a better manager.
Much better agent. In
that's
fact,
gross.
twice as good as Matthews.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that interesting?
That
Yeah.
isn't. But $10 million a year, he's still doing all right.
Oh, yeah, he's doing just fine. Thank you very much. And this is fascinating. I Love Lucy
Yeah.
went out of production in 1957.
Yeah, it's been
It ran
a
from
long
51 to 57, just 6 years.
Yeah.
The Lucille Ball estate
Yeah.
from I Love Lucy reruns still does $17 million a year.
Wow.
Oh, I bet.
Isn't that amazing?
That is that's very cool.
That's fantastic. That's excellent.
And we have we've got a winner, Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, yeah.
Seinfeld show. He just
Oh, yeah.
just from that series, $110 million a year.
Yeah. Wow. He does all right.
Wow.
110 million a year. For a job you did in the 90s.
Yeah, isn't that
Well,
cool?
the good news is we,
Yeah.
the three of us, will have some sort of residuals forever and ever and ever from the show that we're doing.
Yeah, it was
we do a
interesting to
podcast
me.
version of this. So.
It would have been, I don't know, 9 years ago. It was pre our Las Vegas
oh, yeah.
vacation. Went to Vegas with some other people with another company that I worked with. Yeah. And we're literally in a cab going down the strip, and cabbie has the radio on, and all of a sudden I'm on the radio.
Oh, really?
Doing a commercial. It's a company here in town, but they also have a location in Nevada.
Okay.
And I'm literally listening to myself doing this commercial, and the commercial itself had to be 12 years old, and they were still running it, and I thought, how am I not getting paid for this? Well, again, who's your agent?
The program we're doing right now, it doesn't air in syndication. It's not in reruns, but it is a podcast. So somebody could be listening to this far, far, far in the future. And I want you to know we're probably not getting anything.
Probably. So you're aware.
Yeah.
Don't be staring in your mailbox.
Schmucks.
Hey, what's up with that?
We didn't get paid for it the first time, and we're not getting paid for it in the future.
Yeah, man, right. Showbiz. If you can get it done, it can.
Yeah, no doubt, man. That's amazing.
That is pretty fantastic.
I found that interesting.
I also found that interesting.
Good job, Dan.
Thanks, you too. I've been validated.
Yeah, 3 out of 3.
I'll be sleeping well tonight. All right, you guys have a fantastic rest of Monday. I'll catch up with you tomorrow morning.
We'll do it. It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Ferris.
In good times and not so good times, it's a good idea to be responsible when it comes to spending. At bettercreditcards.com, we're excited to see our friends like you get a better credit card to fit your needs. Some people like cards with the lowest possible interest rate. Others like cards with no annual fee. And some people like cards with points and perks to take advantage of all the extras available. Whatever you're looking for, we hope you find it at bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. Bettercreditcards.com.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Monday, October 24th, 2022. Equities experienced some volatility in the prior weeks as hopeful traders and investors cling to the good news while the pessimistic ones cling to the bad. The good news is that Q3 earnings season is a little bit better than expected. The bad news is the outlook for the future continues to deteriorate, and that is weighing on the market. This week, the market faces an onslaught of earnings reports as well as economic data. Among the earnings reports are several FANG names which are foundational to the market. Better than expected reports from them could provide some relief for investors, but the outlook remains dim. On the economic front, the PCE price index tops the list and is expected to come in hot once again. The takeaway will be that the FOMC is on track to continue hiking rates to the 5% level, regardless of the pace, which is bad news for consumers and businesses alike. You can get the inside track from Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com.